Oh, hello everyone. I hope everyone is having a good Monday. Everyone's day is going well. It's felt incredibly strange today because of the fact it's a Monday and I haven't been to work. Don't get me wrong, I love days off. They are my most favorite thing. But my God, is it confusing when you have a day off and your whole week. This whole week is going to be out of whack for me. I'm literally going to be sitting here all week going, I don't know what day it is. But I love a day off. Love a good day off. Love a good week off, if I'm honest. The only thing is now I've got to get back into the mindset of this isn't just spam A like Rowlet. Rowlet is spam A, Tepig is not. And at least then that way I know for certain. It's A until I select, and then it's B. Yeah, it's A until the first sound, then it's B all the way through until the end, and then it's menu. That I can manage. Oh, you know it's bad when the stream's literally just started and I'm already yawning. What happens when you're up at bloody 4 a.m? God, I hate the summer. I absolutely hate it. Up at the crack of dawn and then I can't get back to sleep. Oh, it's a bloody nightmare. Bloody nightmare. But the good thing is that that I didn't get a lot else done today. I think, did I get a lot of stuff done today? No, I don't think I did. But I like the days when I don't necessarily get a lot done. That being said, I did say I was going to do some stuff for Sunday, and then I didn't. So I think I'm going to sort it out tomorrow instead, because first email. Because I do have the same free time tomorrow, and because I'm not streaming in the evening, it does just make it a little bit easier. Gotta figure out what I'm doing for. Oh no, actually no. I'm sitting here thinking, God, I need to figure out what I'm doing for dinner for the next few days. What are we on Tuesday? Tomorrow. So I finish off my chicken dippers. Then Friday. No. Thursday. It then means that. Oh, I didn't want anything. Wednesday. is... I think, tomorrow I'll finish off the chicken dippers. Friday, sorry, Wednesday is then, I'll do loaded sweet jacket. And then Thursday, I'm shopping anyway. So it doesn't matter what I do Thursday, because, well, it does, but I can decide what I'm doing on the day. I don't have to sit and wait. I don't have to sit and try and figure it out. I shouldn't have said that I was interested in that. Every time I load it up, I'm getting pinged, and I bloody hate it. But no, I hope everyone's Sunday was good. Everyone's week is going well. Oh, what did I just shut down? Oh, I hate it when I accidentally do that. I always do that all the time. I click something accidentally. And then I'm like, oh, another female. I'm like, man, why did I do that? Sorry, just gotta send a quick text to my brother. Why does he wait? Why on earth does he wait? I wonder, oh god, should I try it? Will this affect stuff? I don't know. Don't affect stuff. Of course it affects stuff. The one thing that ever so slightly annoys me is a lot of these programs that I'm using to capture these programs just like seem to just always not like adjusting the window in any way, shape or form. But the default windows they give you are so tiny. I cannot actually see anything through the teeny tiny windows that they give me. Like, I want to make it bigger to see, but then it messes with the whole OBS stuff. I can't be bothered to try and fix that either. There is no winning. No winning. Oh, man. Yawning like a madman. It's only bloody 6:10. Wow. I need to stop. I've actively never talked more to my brother over text than I have since he's moved out. Which is random. I've talked more to him today than I have in the last, like, 6 years on text, probably combined. It is honestly madness. He posting fun stuff from work. Don't care. Move on, God. I think he's just because he's employed. You know, I am employed. I'm just not working. Just not working this week. I will say I go down this rabbit hole probably every 6 months. Where I go, I want to move to a foreign country. And then I just end up looking at like houses in foreign countries and just being like, yeah, that's cheaper than I thought it was going to be. I could buy it, I could renovate it, I could live there. And then I'm like, yeah, but I would need money to like operate my standard life. I'm like, I think I could actively like up. I'm someone who likes the idea of living in another country, but not like going through the actual steps of living in another country. And by that, I mean like getting another job in another country. Like trying to learn a language that I don't speak. There are so many like different steps along it that I'm just not like super aware of or keen on. That I don't know how that would work. Hey Greg, how are you doing? I hope your weekend was good. Hope you're doing well. Of course, annoyingly, I think the dog's just gone to the back door. So I'll do this check. And then I will go and check and see if he can go out. So I will be right back. Oh, I swear I have a sixth sense for that kind of stuff. He was literally just waiting at the back door for me. I'm psychic. God. But I was thinking about it because I do. I like to imagine what it's like living in another country. Yeah, it's you, Greg. It is you, 100%. No, because I'd like to imagine what it's like to live in another country. I do it quite a lot. And this most recent endeavor was Sunday. I have found, I wouldn't say it's quite my dream property, but it's a property that I'm like, I would love to move into a place like that. Like it's not too badly priced, but it's also not like mega expensive. It's in like a really kind of a central area where I'd kind of want to be, but it's literally across the globe. But it's like massively cheaper than anything you would find in the UK. Don't get me wrong, the property's old. Oh, another female. Third one today. But like that's you know, yeah. But again, for 25 grand, you cannot go wrong. Sorry, I lie. It's not 25 grand. It's $23,000. So it's like 20 grand UK. It is just trying to see. Oh, it's again, I need to figure out what it means. It's an 8DK, which I think is 7 bedrooms and a dining room. Don't entirely know. Hey, hello. How are you doing? Hope your weekend was good. Okay. Done? Can I go and shut the door? We're not playing. This sheep, where is it? I'm not telling you. It's my secret house. Now, weekend was too short. That's true. Not enough room for you to play with it in here. Smart. Okay, so I think I figured it out. 8DK means 8 bedrooms plus dining and kitchen. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think that's about right. Of all places, it's in Japan. But that's where I do most of my house shopping. Obviously, when I'm not looking at UK prices, going, ooh, why do I want to pay for that? Then you have to clean 8 bedrooms, though. Yeah, but if I was at the point where I could afford to upheave my life, my life is nothing. But if I was at a point where it was like I could just drop everything and move to another country, I wouldn't care. I'd have an 8-bedroom house for 20 grand. Like, can you think about how much that would cost over here? Like, it would just be mental. Like, I can't afford a 2-bed place, let alone an 8-bed place or a 7-bed place. Just mental. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, now comes the pricing. That's the thing. You've done all of the arduous bit of, well, half the arduous bit of testing everything to make sure it works. And now you need to get everything going. Oh, but I was so annoyed today. Right. I was childishly annoyed. I wasn't like mega annoyed, but I was like a little bit annoyed. My dad messaged me for the first time since he's been away. He's been away like since Thursday, but I hadn't heard from him. Sunday evening, about this kind of time, he messages me asking how I'm doing. And obviously I wasn't streaming, so, but I was just like, well, yeah, I've seen it. I'm okay. And then this morning, about 10 o'clock I check, he's messaged me again. But literally, I think an hour before, or like half an hour, 20 minutes after he messaged me this morning, he messaged my brother to ask if I was still alive. And my brother was like, can you message Dad? I was like, he's only messaged me like 18 hours ago. Like, he waited 12 hours between his messages. Considering where he is on holiday, he's still on GMT. Like, the time zone hasn't changed. So he knows I'm in the same time zone. But he was just like, he messaged me at when was it? 8 o'clock last night. No, 6 o'clock last night and 8 o'clock this morning. 8:30 this morning. So 12 hours, 14 hours between the first two messages. And then like maybe half an hour to an hour after that, he messages my brother to be like, is he still alive? And I'm like, it's been like 18 hours since I got your first message. Just because I didn't respond to you doesn't mean I'm dead. Just like, calm down. You waited like 4 days to even message me at all while you're on holiday. And then you get upset that I didn't message you within like 30 seconds. Like, it's ridiculous. I thought it was ridiculous. So I had a childish tantrum over that. But I was like, come on, really? He told my brother they got there safe. He hadn't messaged me, but he posted on Facebook of all the stuff he was doing. And then still didn't message me. And then got upset when I didn't message him within like 12 hours after getting his first message. Considering I was asleep for 6, 8, maybe 9 of those hours. Ugh. Calm down. 2 Game Boys boxed. Ooh, 2 Game Boys, 2 box 360s, PS3, PS2. Nice. Yeah, because that's the thing. That's the thing with that kind of stuff is like, you've got to keep updating the prices because the market changes. Which is why I'm half like, I never want to get into modern Pokemon cards. Which also, by the way, I don't know if anyone has seen the insanity that has gone on over the last few days in the card community. I think it happened before now, but it's only being like pushed now, which is the Jason Page situation. Yeah, I think it was a big thing before. I obviously I don't have a dog in the fight, so to speak. I've just kind of sat back and just kind of seen what's kind of been going on about it. I mean, it's not good whatever way you look at it, right? I don't know the condition. This is the thing. We don't know the condition of the card that the vendor sold the kids originally. Jason seems to think, off of his video, which I saw, that the card was like heavily damaged, like heavy play, and was only worth $75. But I don't know that fact. But his auto, basically, Greg, that's what the synopsis is. But the worst part is, his cheap autograph card isn't an actual Pokemon card. It's like a fake Pokemon card. It's not even a legit Pokemon card. It's a fake Pokemon card that I think he signed the outside of. And he traded it for a potentially $150 Japanese Gengar first edition. Like, it was insane. And then the other one that I saw, which I thought was quite funny, and this was very much a recent thing. You see in the video that it was $100+ card. I'm gonna say, I think the vendor sold it at $150. I think. I've only seen a little bit of it. I was just kind of perusing and I was like, oh, and then it just popped up on my Twitter that Jason Page has responded. I was like, okay. But yeah, and then the other thing I saw, which I thought was quite funny, recently, is I think Logan Paul had put out a tweet yesterday being just him saying, I've got a Pokemon problem. And I was looking at the cards. It's a lot of first edition, right? But like, I was looking at the cards. He's got graded energy cards. Like, who grades energy cards? I feel sorry for him for paying for graded energy cards. Like, okay, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's first edition, cool, whatever. But they're graded first editions. It's cool, but like, and looking at it, most of the cards are not 10s, and I think his angle is that they're all first edition, whatever. But man, some of those some of the just looking at it, it's just like lightning energy, fighting energy, a bunch of trainer cards, cool, first edition stuff. Like, that's it. I don't even think they're I don't even think they're like PSA 10s. I think most of them are like 9s, 8s, and 7s. It's very hard to tell because of the angle of the shot. But there are definitely some low grade cards. But it was just fun. I'm just looking at it, I'm just like, man, that's hilarious. Like, it's ridiculous. And then the last thing for the vending, well, for the card side of things, is PSA backlog, right? They were at 10 million cards before they shut the grading submissions. And then I saw somewhere that had jumped up another 7 million cards, because obviously they announced we're shutting it in like 4 days, and everyone rushed to submit cards. So now I think they roughly, again, it's what I kind of saw online, they get through about 21 million cards a month, meaning they've got 17 million cards to go through, and they only get through 2 a month. So, I think PSA submissions, it's going to be a long time before they come back down to normal. Because people will still send in cards to submit, it just won't be as many as normal. So, you know, it's probably going to take them 10 months to get down to a reasonable level, at least. So, I'm not planning on grading anything anytime soon. Because it's just insane. But no, it's definitely worth... The Jason Page situation was definitely a weird one that kind of exploded over the weekend. But again, I think the card show that it was all kind of central around was from March. So it was like it was a while ago. Again, there's no guarantee that Jason Page doesn't have a couple of those Japanese Gengars around, and he's just picked the worst quality one that he has to be like, yeah, this is the one that I traded that kid for. And it's like, not the best situation. It's one of those things where it's like, being on the outside, there's nothing I can do but laugh at the situation. It's like, it's just insane. To be like, he's gone to so many card shows. I feel bad because there's the potential that he's done this to other kids before, like hundreds of other kids before. And this is just the first one that's popped up as like, it's kind of blown up as a thing. Can you imagine if he's been doing it like for years and years and years? I think it would be slightly better if the card he had traded them for was like an actual graded card and not like a fake graded card. And I say fake graded card in the sense of it's not a real legit Pokemon card. It's a custom card that someone had made and got graded, and he had signed it. It just doesn't make sense. One of those things that just drives me mad, like scammer doing scammy things. Was it AI art? Oh, that's even worse. Oh, that's even worse. So that's like a recent thing then. I didn't even realize it was a... I didn't even know it was AI art. I knew it was a fake card. I didn't realize it was AI. It was an AI artwork on a fake card that he'd signed. I think he had signed it and then got it graded, because I vaguely remember seeing that it was a graded auto, which means the only reason it has kind of some legitimacy, so to speak of, is because it was signed by him. But it's like, oh yeah, you know, just buy cheap cards and just like grade them, and then that's it. Well, no, not even that. Just bloody generate AI cards, sign them, trade them for like $150 worth of cards from a kid. Madness. Absolute madness. One of those things where it's like, yeah, you should definitely not be part of the community. Yeah, it was just a hell of a situation. It was just an insane situation. I hadn't even heard it was AI generated art. I just knew it was a fake card. I knew it was a fake card because I saw the video. I could tell it was a fake card. I hadn't even clocked that it was AI, and it's not good. Not good at all. Really not good at all. Oh, I'm thinking of doing something, and I was thinking of giving a sneak peek, but I don't know if I should. It might give too much away. Oh, do you want to know another thing I did before the sneak peek stuff? I actually created vertical overlays now for everything. So every single stream that currently I do or have a plan to do, I have a vertical overlay for, which is really nice. All I need now is YouTube to allow me to do dual streaming with dual ingestion, and then it'll be good. And then I can start doing that. But unfortunately, I still don't have access to that yet. I don't think it's an actual released thing yet, which sucks because I want it so badly and I'm actually ready to do it. Sucks. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to spend... I actually spent some time like cleaning up my desk today. It was very different to what I normally do. But then I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't have work today. I was so bored and kind of so out of my mind. Like, yep, time's going by. I don't know what to do. I'm caught up on everything that I want to be caught up on, like watching wise. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of the week. And by that I mean I do have some stuff planned, but it's actually, there's a difference between like planning to do something and actually doing something. I very much struggle to do the thing. I find it so much easier just to plan to do the thing, but never do the thing. Just trying to think. I might start a just trying to think time wise. I might do a Sunday stream. It's not going to be like every Sunday. It might be every once in a while on a Sunday. And the primary reason for that is because what I'm thinking of is doing a playthrough, and I kind of want to sit down and do, like, I don't want to get it done quite quickly. And I think it might take me like 2 or 3 Sundays to do it. Because it's one of those where it's like I could kind of do it. I could kind of do it in the week. But like 3 hours just isn't long enough to do. It's just not long enough to make a dent in it, in my opinion. That's all right, Cloud. Look, all you want. The other thing I'm thinking, maybe some stuff needs to move around a bit. Because the chat stuff doesn't work. Maybe we do this. Ooh. Maybe a little bit smaller. I think I have a thing I can also put on here. It's that one. It is that one. Another female. Not shiny. There we go. Tweaking things live. Best way to tweak things. Well, no, I hope everyone's week has been good. I hope everyone is. I was just say looking forward to the weekend because I'm thinking, yeah, it's obviously Friday. It's only bloody Monday. Only bloody Monday, and I'm still like thinking it's just weird. It's odd. This week just feels out of place already. And we've only just bloody started the week. Oh, that's the only other thing I've got to check. I think I do need to do a stream where I do testing on the shorts. Because I don't know if it's going to work. That. Everything is just unsure on my computer at the minute. No nickname. Why on earth does it do that? Okay, no, maybe not. I was gonna be like, I'm gonna show this off. No, I think it's broken. I think it's broken before I even start, which is just it's just such a bloody thing with this. I always have problems with this other bloody second screen. Nah, I fixed it. But the problem is, I know the minute I close this back down, it's gonna just not be happy. And I know it's not working on the other overlay either. Why does things never do what I want it to do? I mean, I was gonna say, I hate doing overlays. No, I like doing the overlays. I just hate that none of my bloody apps probably work as they should. It sucks. Computers smell fear. If you struggle a bit, they'll stop working completely. It's not fear. It's the damn app that I'm using to get the the DS output from. They just never seem to want to work for me. I get it occasionally with the original DS, where the screens are duplicated, which obviously makes no sense because they're split into a top and a bottom window. But basically, what happens is sometimes when I first load up the program, both of the screens will be displaying the same thing. And then I have to sort that out. But yeah, if computers just don't like you, you're kind of screwed. You know, I actually hoovered my desk. I hoovered my PC on the outside a bit, and I organized my desk a little bit. And I'm like, is it actually clean? And then I have to remind myself, yeah, you have to do that relatively frequently to get your desk in a good condition, in a good way. Like, I'm notoriously bad for dusting. But dust accumulates, like, so much in my room. Like, it is bad. But, like, I haven't, like, given my PC a full de-dust. Probably when I moved it to this chassis, which was probably a year or so ago. Year and a half, 2 years ago. Greg, when did it was I know it was after Greg got his GPU. That much I remember. A couple of years ago. Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. I mean, it's been a little while. I haven't dusted my PC since then. I haven't dusted inside. I've cleaned the outside. Like, I keep my fan ports very clear. I just haven't cleaned, like, the internals. You know, the filters are clean. You know, all of that kind of stuff is clean. But I mean like a deep clean. Problem is, I was like, I'm gonna do it this week. The weather this week is so up and down. Okay, tomorrow morning, I might do it tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning's supposed to be quite good. And by good, I mean no rain. But this week's weather, especially where I am, has been horrible. Sunday was the only good day. It's been rain, sun, rain, sun, rain, sun. Pretty much all Saturday. Today has been on, off, rain, sun, rain, sun. And then tomorrow is going to be good in the morning, rainy in the afternoon. Just can't make its mind up. But no, I think what I'm doing tomorrow is I'm making I think I'm doing my loaded sweet potatoes. Because then all I need to worry about is... Oh no, I was doing was I doing chicken dippers? No, I'll do chicken dippers on Wednesday because they're going to be a quick and easy meal to do. I was just thinking, because Wednesday, it's just a big dinner. It's just a lot of work. And if I'm not streaming, I'd prefer to do it then. Thank you, Bruce. How are you doing? Hope your weekend was good. Hope your week is off to a good start. Doing good. Is it bad? I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, when I have to work, I'm like, man, I hate work. When I don't have to work, I'm sitting here going, man, I wish I was at work. Like today, I'm like, man, today it just feels weird not being at work on a Monday. But then I'll work on a Monday, I'm like, oh, I hate Mondays. Oh, I despise work. Incredibly strange. Please have a shiny Morgan. Nice, congratulations. That's good. He's got the account. Nope, wrong time to start spamming B. Too early. Too early to start spamming B. Now, I was trying to think of something fun to kind of break up the shiny hunting. Something different to break up the shiny hunting on streams. So I've got a plan of action, and the goal will be to see if I can do it or not. So we'll see. One of these days I will stop yawning during the streams, but today is not that day. It is not that day. Apple Tart, what a name. I just call it a Mulga. I would. I just leave them as their default names. I'm really bad for it. But yeah, so let's think. This week will be normal. Should be good. Wednesday should be Palkia. Friday should be Weedle. Obviously Saturday, there's no Saturday. Well, Trying to think. No, Saturday there probably won't be a stream. I was just trying to think if I can squeeze in an extra stream. But then Sunday... Oh, man. I was thinking of not going to this event on Sunday, but I think I might actually be going to the event on Sunday. I think I might be, but... you just try and see if I can... I'm trying to figure it out. Ah, yes, yeah, I had bin day today, Greg. Lucky in that regard. My bins were already done. That's good, Cloud. I was going to look at something and then I forgot. Schedule, that was it. So this Saturday, yeah, I can't squeeze anything in. The issue is, I mean, I can. The issue is I feel like I want to start this, but I want to start this by doing like a longer stream. So it's like... It's like for Sundays, I can do... I can probably do 6 to 8 hours quite easily. The only issue is I can't do that any other day. But then it's not every Sunday. So I'm like, I could do a run, but it would be like a longer run. It would take me like a month to do it, 2 months to do it. Like I could do it on the 21st, but I couldn't do it on the 28th. I could do it on the 5th, I couldn't do it on the 12th. I could do it on the 19th, I couldn't do it on the 6th. Like, it just is kind of a bit iffy. I feel like for what I want to do, I kind of want to have it done within like a week to 2 weeks. The other option is change up the schedule and do it like 1 or 2 weekends on the trot. So do a Friday. Basically move. This is just a recipe for disaster. Thinking about it, because like it would just boost the rowlet resets for the month. If I was to do it like this, which essentially would be do it Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday, but basically doing it so it's like a late stream Friday, so it starts at normal time but goes for like 4-5 hours, then do Saturday late until late again, do another 5 hours, and then Sunday do like an 8-hour stream. But the problem with that is that could increase so many more rowlet resets for the month, and it would put me in so much debt, so much rowlet debt. I mean, I love it when it rains. The problem is, I love it when it rains, but I love being inside when it rains. The only problem is, no, I should do it. The problem is that the dog doesn't like it when it's raining. The dog won't go outside if it's raining. Which is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because I don't really want to go out and walk him in the rain and then have to dry him off and go through all that hassle. But it's a curse because it means I can't take him out at the time I normally take him out. The thing is, I love the rain at the minute because it was like my parents just went away on holiday. They're like, if you remember, water the plants, obviously, unless it rains. And we've had one day where it hasn't rained. So I'm like, I don't need to water the plants. They're like, yeah, if it hasn't rained for like 2-3 days, water them. It's been raining constantly. On off. So I haven't had to water anything. I might, well, no, I should probably actually water the inside plants. I haven't done that, but they also didn't tell me to. No, I should. I'll do that tonight / in the morning. Yeah, I love the rain. It's so nice just to sit there and just listen to it. The problem is, it's probably the wrong type of rain. Which is insane to me, because I would have thought all rain is good. But no, when the ground is relatively hard, there is such a thing as the wrong type of rain. Which I did not know. Also, something I did not know that I learned today. Apparently, the Arctic, one of the poles, don't ask me what one, I can't remember that much. One of the poles is actually increasing in ice, even though it's melting at unprecedented rates. And I did not know that. And the only reason it's doing that is because of increased snowfall. Which again, I did not know. It's a random thing. So even though the planet is naturally warming up and ice is melting more, it's also being returned at a higher rate. If there was, for whatever reason, extreme drought and there was no snowfall, then sea levels would continue to potentially rise. But apparently at the minute it's quite balanced, which is interesting. One of those random little factoids, because I've been procrastinating so much today and not doing some stuff that I was supposed to be doing. Because I am a master procrastinator. I would say, what are we? Almost just over a week into the month. Let's see, because I'm curious. I'm nosy live. Right. What did we start with? Was this month started on a Monday? It was, wasn't it? So, Tepig. 7, 9, 14. 22, and then this stream 30, no, 20, 29 resets so far this month. And that's primarily because the turnout for these streams have been higher the last few. Rowlet was quite high, but Rowlet was always going to be quite high. The Rowlet streams always kind of, for whatever reason, did really well. Yeah, I think we're on track to draw the tie with last month's 70. This month's 70, last month's 70. Another 26 videos that can't be monetized, even though they're really old videos. Just what I want, a guy who I have never heard of breaking down the code for retention. Oh, okay, no, he's got a decent audience. It's probably worth listening to what he has to say. Thank you, YouTube Insider. But no, the Tepig ones do quite well. How are we doing on the last few Tepig ones? 40, 60, 17. Okay, no, they vary. 60, 19, 29, 34. They vary. This one, 20. The amount, YouTube is like all over the place with it though. But then you get some odd ones that seem to do well after the stream has ended for some unknown reason. Like last week's Weedle hunting in Viridian. Don't know why, after it was posted, got 20 views. That's cool. Was not expecting that at all. Actually, I'm curious. That's the other thing, man. I don't understand this. Oh no, that one. That's the one I want. Yeah, I don't understand this at all. I think it's confused because it's still counting it as a live stream. That could be where the confusion is. Never mind. Never mind confusion. Yeah, surprisingly, again, who knew? Greg has been telling me to do it on and off for ages. So kind of Greg knew. Greg was aware of the situation. And I was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not, because again, you get it a lot where it's like a lot of people are like doing it during the stream. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it during the stream. That just feels off. Just a bit odd. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. But you don't be like, hey guys, like the stream, hit the like goal. So to a degree, I was like, I feel like I have to give something to make it worth it. Because otherwise it just kind of feels a bit, I don't know, it just feels a bit cheap, in my opinion. But no, so in the last, and this is kind of the metrics that kind of matter more so than anything, but also it's like, you know, it's good to know. Impressions are up like 168%, which is insane. Views are up 108 more than normal. I think in the overview, it's views overall for the channel are up more than normal. Obviously, watch time's up and subscribers are up, which is you can tell how much it's kind of stagnated for a little while, because subscriptions are up 500%, but there's only 4 new subscribers. That shows you how flat it's been for a little while. Talking about how you were telling me for ages to go on about, like, being like, hey guys, like the streams. And it was it's fine, Cloud. Unfortunately, Greg, no, you're the only member here at the minute, but you're not the only member. As far as I'm aware, Sheik is still a member, Everest is still a member, and the dog's deciding to bark. And Zilla came in the other week and obviously gifted 15. So you got a little while until that wears off. Got a month until that wears off. Yeah, because that throughout the estimated ad revenue. But no, like the monthly audience, which is some new YouTube statistic, has climbed up. So on the 11th of May, it was at 1,300, and now it's at 1,600. So it turns out, asking people, well, yeah, to a degree, asking people to like the streams clearly works for engagement and pushing the channel out and things like that. I'm kind of like, man, I wish I did it sooner, but I'm also like, I'm glad I waited for a specific reason to do it. Because I feel like if I was just doing it off the rip, it's kind of like, if I was asking for it but not giving anything in return, I would feel kind of a bit iffy. Yeah, no, not your hallucinated, inflated views. No. No, on average, the trend has been more views during the streams. The only other thing I've kind of got to work, I don't know if I've got to work on it or what, but it's the click-through rate. Like, try and get that a bit higher on average. At the minute, we're almost sitting at 2% on average. And I think kind of would like to see it sit at 2.5 to 3% click-through rate. But again, I also feel like part of that comes from more people in the streams. Because if you just see a stream that's got not, I mean, my way of like checking streams out is if a stream's got like one viewer in, I'm not likely going to go in and join in on that stream. But if a stream's got 100 viewers in it, I'm more likely to go in to check out that stream. There's like, oh, 100 people like this guy. Yeah, sure. We'll give it a go. But I don't know why. It might just be me personally. I always feel bad if I go into a stream with 1 or 2 people, but then don't get along and then leave. So it's like, because it's like, I understand to a degree, it's not for everyone. I see it all the time on this channel. So that's fine, I get it. View number goes up, view number goes down. And when you're only got like 1 or 2 people who watch your streams and, no one talking in chat, you see someone come in and then this streamer goes, oh, hi, welcome in. How are you? And I go, that just feels weird. And then I leave. But then I'm like, I feel bad because obviously this person's trying to do something, but they can't. And like, it's not facilitating it. Hold on. Don't know what it was. Something set the dog off. He's in the garden barking. Is there any problem? Because it's just me here this week. He's a little shit. No, he's being good. He's being very, very good. But when he goes and does this, I don't know what set him off. You never know what sets him off. But no, I'm a little bit annoyed. Not at the dog, just in general. Because I was supposed to get a card delivered today, a Pokemon card. And annoyingly, it said it got delivered, but it didn't. I got a different parcel, and now I'm annoyed because I wanted one of the other. I wanted the card in that it said it arrived, but it didn't. So I don't know what to do about it. It was coming by Royal Mail as well, which is even more annoying. It's the first time I've had it not show. Done. Wipe your feet. I'll be right back. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. Scenery is very nice in this game. It's really good. I love how it's kind of I think, is it kind of 2.5D? Am I correct in that? Because I got my big bulk one. Yeah, see, this is the thing. It says delivered, but it also says, I went to eBay because that's where I brought it through and said, my item hasn't arrived. It says, your item may still be on the way. And it says, wait until tomorrow to do it. But I'm like, it says delivered. Which is really annoying because I can click on the tracking. I can click on the tracking and it gives me the tracking number and it says it was delivered. But I'm like, no, because I can click on view image, confirm my postcode. And then it's just a picture of the one that I got. And I was like, yeah, that's not proof of delivery for that. Sucks. Made the camera really dynamic in this? Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I love it. Part of the reason why Black and White 2 are some of my favorite games. Obviously not as high as Sinnoh, but that's because, you know, I started on Sinnoh. Yeah, they did make a delivery picture, but the delivery picture is of a different item. That's the problem. I click on map, it is my address. I click on trapping history, it says it was delivered. There's no way to here you go. Oh, I've got to... It says to contact the sender. Was the item not the thing you ordered? No, the item was just the... it just hadn't... It just isn't here. So that's the thing. So I ordered... So what got delivered today was supposed to be this single card plus an order of about 8 cards. No, how many cards was it? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8... 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19. I got the 19 cards. I didn't get the single card. The picture that the delivery guy took was of the package with the 19 cards, not the single card. So I'm just like mega confused. However, keep in mind, I also have 2 other packages. 1, 2, 3 that were supposed to be sent at the same time, or you know, that are supposed to be estimated today or tomorrow. So what I'm hoping is it comes tomorrow and there's no problem. And it's just a mess up on Royal Mail's end. What would be really bad is if, for some reason, it got delivered somewhere else. I would be incredibly annoyed. But yeah. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it. I mentioned it to Cal. Did I mention it? Oh no, I did mention it. As I say, I pulled the rest of the first partner collection, obviously. No, I was looking. It just reminded me. I was looking on eBay today, just because I was curious to see if the price had changed on the first partner illustration boxes. I'm not buying anymore, but I was just curious. I saw that some people have got the second illustration listed. Keep in mind, they don't drop for another like 10 days. And they've got them already pre-listed at £50, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But no, I've not had any problem with any of my previous orders at all. Like they've all arrived fine and no problems. But I'm waiting on, obviously that, I'm waiting on 3 things. Oh no, 4 things? 1. No, I got that. I'm waiting on the Dunsparce. I got the Roxy. I got the Adamant. I got that. I got those 2. That one says it's delivered, but I haven't got it. And I'm waiting on those. So I'm waiting on like 3 or 4 more cards. I decided I'm going to try and finish my master set of Crown Zenith. Finally. After, what's it been? Like a year, 2 years? So I'm like, I'm just chipping my way through that. But I gotta put a pause on spending. I'm spending too much. But it's also good because I didn't realize I almost would have bought double of other cards. Because I was adamant that I hadn't purchased the reverse hollow oddish, and I almost bought another one. And considering it's £3 a card, I'm glad I double checked. Because I would have just been even more annoyed if I would have bought 2 of them. Yeah, I could sell it, but still, you know, like I wouldn't probably get my money back for it. I'm just hoping that it arrives tomorrow. Either that or a neighbour's got a card and they don't even realise it's from me. They've opened it and they've gone, what's this nonsense? And thrown it away because I live around old biddies. It's possible. It is entirely plausible. Oh man, I hate that cloud. Every time I have to... It feels like every time I try and use my drawing tablet, I have to try and find the original drivers for it. And it's such a nightmare. I really don't like it. I really don't like it at all. I do, yeah, 100%. I always do. Yeah, I have a drawing tablet. I've mentioned it in the past. I have a drawing tablet. Just don't bloody use it. It's literally sitting in my drawer next to me. I've had it for like 6 years. Every time I try and get into drawing, I try and use it, and I just can't. No, I tell you what, is interesting, or I'm curious to get people's opinion on it because I own one. And it might be worth just having a look at it up. What is it? Influencer's Introduction. The Pokemon, it's a newish Pokemon card. I own one, but I was curious what people's thought on the artwork was. Because I'm just curious. I can't remember. I bought it so long ago. I don't bloody know, Cloud. I bought it so long ago and I don't use it. It's a tablet of some sort. It has a pen. That's all I remember. That's all I know. Actually, I can probably just post a picture of it. Score. No screen. TCG cards. It's going to be a bit blown out. I know it might not be. There you go. Posted it in TCG cards. I own one of those graded in an Ace 10. But I really like the artwork on it. I thought it was quite interesting artwork. I mean, it's got a Charizard, it's got a Ditto, it's got a Pikachu, it's got a female Combi. Quite funny. Although, Elo, looking at your hits, I've literally got, apart from the Aurorus, which I'm completely jealous of, literally on my desk in front of me, I've got the Beedrill EX and the Cobalion EX just sitting on my desk. Interestingly enough, they're in my duplicate sell pile because I've opened with my brother 3 booster boxes of Chaos Rising. I mean, to be fair, we split the costs mostly down the middle. I don't blame him, I'll be honest. All the fossil Pokemon, well, no, the Gen 5 fossil Pokemon are some of my favorites. I think it goes Rampardos, Tyrantrum, Bastiodon, Aurorus. I think that's my list. Archops isn't bad either. I like Archops, I like Aerodactyl as well, but you know, we'll see. I don't like them. I don't like either of them. I don't like any of the Galar ones. I hate them. Okay, no. Let me rephrase that. I hate the fact you can't get a completed form of any of the fossils. I hate you can only get a mangled amalgamation. If you could choose between the regular forms or, you know, the messed up forms, I'd be fine because I would like the full forms versus the half forms. But because they only do the mix match, I'm not a fan of them just at all. The messed up ones make you laugh. Well, that's fine. They can make you laugh. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I gotta also stop typing in this chat because I'm up with cats everywhere. Oh, Greg, I saw something today on For Champions, which I thought was interesting, which I don't know if you have seen. That that you can basically do it was an Emboar and a Rangaroo, I do believe. And basically the guy got, I can't remember how he did it, but he got the Emboar to use Protect and Heat Crash, I think it was, in the same turn. Basically protecting it and doing an attack in Champions. I can't remember exactly how he did it. I saw it in passing and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's probably extremely broken. And then I just went about my business. It is very cool, Shy. Yeah, that's why I'm hunting for it. But how are you doing? I hope your weekend was good. Quickly send this image. Brother. Instruct, that was it. That was it. Now I remember, yes. Yeah, it just feels like an insane way to, like, play the game. he was up against a Dragonite and something else. Well, your Embor's got to be slower than Orangu. But your Orangu's got to be quicker than everything else. No, because I think he used Trick Room. Orangus. Is that 2 females in a row, or is that 3 females in a row? 3. Could also be 2, though. Yeah, because it's got to be slower, but then it's got to be quicker than everything else. No, I think he Trick Roomed it. Yeah, it's got to be a very specific setup. Sorry, I'm quickly sending this. Brother. Before I forget. Yeah, plus heat crash. But then it would. But then the next turn it won't work, right? Oh no, will it? I'm just trying to think because the way I remember it being, and it might have changed, but the way I remember it being was heat crash would be slower. No, the next turn after that. You couldn't do the same thing again because heat crash is going, but then I don't think protect would work again. Technically, you've protected then 3 turns in a row, and protect has a chance of failing the further along the more times you use it, right? Unless that's now no longer the case. Second time in the row, the second time has a third of a chance of success. Yeah, so potentially then it would fail. It could fail on that instruct because it's the second time in a row it's being used. But then the third time, so the one after the heat crash, should work perfectly fine because of the fact you didn't use it last turn, instead you used heat crash in between. But then you would have to use protect again afterwards and then do the setup again. So potentially, so long as your Pokemon, and I guess this in theory could work with any Pokemon with a high attacking move plus protect, would be as soon as you protect yourself, you would then go through that, right? Like you could just continue the chain along as long as Trick Room is in play, and then after that then it stops working. So it would only work, it would keep you technically invincible so long as Trick Room was still in play. because instruct doesn't go through protect. No, but no. So turn 1, it's protect, and then your other Pokemon uses instruct, right? Oh no, Trick Room. Then turn 2, your slow Pokemon uses instruct to then get your protecting Pokemon to pop protect, even though you've set it to attack. Then it attacks. Then turn 3, you protect on your protecting Pokemon, and then your instruct Pokemon figure out what to do with, right? But then the turn after, you could cycle it again, where your instruct Pokemon instructs protect, and then you heat crash again, right? Because then that way it's not going through a protect, because you're not protecting. You're basically just looping the original setup again and again. Obviously, it means your instruct Pokemon needs to survive as well. If that goes down, then it obviously ruins the whole thing. But potentially, as long as you can keep both your Pokemon alive, which isn't likely possible, you could, in theory, be indestructible. Right? Am I thinking that correctly? As long as Trick Room and Protect still work. Or is it because it's protect, heat crash, that first protect works, the second protect doesn't work? No, because turn 3 you click protect, your instruct will do nothing. I thought instruct was just for that turn, to get it to use the attack, right? So turn 3 you wouldn't instruct again, or is instruct? See, because this is the thing, I don't know TCG that well. Is instruct constant? I wouldn't have thought so. I thought it was just for that one turn. So turn 3 on your instruct Pokemon, you would use a different move, not instruct. And then turn 4 you would instruct it again when you was attacking. So odd turns, you wouldn't instruct. Even turns, you would instruct. And then that way, if you were able to somehow keep both Pokemon alive, in theory, you would be indestructible, no? Or am I wrong in that line of thinking? Pitch black. That's it. Again, I could be wrong, but in my eyes, that would make it so you were, in theory, indestructible. So that was kind of where I was getting at. Because you couldn't technically have protect up every turn, eventually that would cause it to stop, right? So, in theory, turn 2, your protect could fail. But then, does it not reset because you've used heat crash? Or is it because it's turn 3, it continues it as in that line? Because technically you used it turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, does it then cancel? Or is it because you used heat crash in the middle, does it technically reset? There's a 2/3 chance of failing on turn 2. When it fails, it resets. Okay. So here's the cheesy thing. I know it wouldn't work in... I know it wouldn't work in Champions because you're very much restricted on the moves, right? But in theory, just in theory, Protect and Detect are 2 different triggers, right, for that. So if you protected and then detect... No, because then it wouldn't matter. So turn 2, it would have a 1/3 chance of failing. But then... Nope, see, I'm confused. I'm confused myself again. So if you protected, heat crashed, detect, then swap back to protect. It doesn't matter because they have the same counter. Okay. That's fine. That makes more sense. Because I was thinking, because you could just, like, cycle between them. But yeah, so in theory, you would be destructible so long as protect, you could, like, guarantee the protect, which just isn't feasible. Yeah, there's no way. So, okay. It's a slim chance of popping. But if it works, then it does good, right? All right, Cloud. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. Hope art goes well. Yes, it's my fault. My fault for having... Alrighty. See you later, Cloud. And see you later, hello. Thanks very much for stopping by. You both have a great rest of your week. We'll see you all later. This is good, because now I can show the secret stuff to only Greg. And no one else will be any other wiser on what my plan is. Wahaha. Evil. No one watch the VOD. No one cheese it and go back and watch the VOD. That's not fair. That's cheating. Like, oh, we'll just wake up in the morning and then check the VOD. No, I'm going to do it at the end of the stream, Hello, just because then I know that it will most likely just be Greg in here. Because I'm evil like that. I also don't like how that's kind of not centered, and that's been irritating me for a little while. But then also this technically isn't centered. Probably about them. Yeah. See you later, Elo. That was the thing. So the dilemma, Elo was saying I should just do it. The dilemma is I've got a plan for a run or a few runs that I can start to do. Because again, I'm now in the mindset of I want to attempt making videos, but I also want to do it in a way that's good for me. And for me, that's streaming. Streaming it and then editing it down. But obviously, current ways I've been doing it, it doesn't work that well for it. So I think we've mentioned it in the past, but I'm kind of cycling back around to the idea. Is challenge runs. So the... No, okay, there wasn't much on. No, so the thinking was... That's the thing. I came across a video and I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting to do a similar format of, but in a different game. Which was a hardcore Nuzlocke of a game, but without evolving Pokemon. So obviously you stay at the level cap and you just play through the game and go through that. Now, I was thinking that would be kind of interesting. But then I was like, what game? And then my first thought went Platinum, because I love Pokemon Platinum. But I was like, I don't want to do Gen 4. I kind of have done a lot of Gen 4. I kind of want to do something else. So then I decided if I was going to do it, I should probably do it in a game I haven't played that I've kind of wanted to play for a little while. And I settled on Oraz. So I'm thinking it's going to be a hardcore Nuzlocke on Oraz. Now, I don't want to do a randomizer. I don't want to do it just using a single type of Pokemon. I think I want to do it because, again, I'm just like scrolling through. There are so many videos that are just like randomizer Nuzlocke, no items, and it's like there's 4 of them. I mean, this one guy, Antaboy Live is literally just like all of them. And it's literally just... Oh, my headphones are asleep. I was like, why can't I not hear this guy? It's just a single type run on Nuzlocks, and he does it only on Twitch. But it's like, you know, the single game runs on those. Don't get me wrong, right? They're not bad. And obviously he doesn't a lot. He had like 200k views per one, and I'm like, ooh. Ooh. But that's what I'm thinking, right? So and I kind of want to get it done in a quick-ish fashion, but I don't want it to overpower the streams. So I was like, that would be cool. It would be cool to do, and I'm like, right, I've kind of got a game plan on how I want to do it. But I kind of want to do it like try and get through as much of either a run or multiple runs as I can in like a weekend. Which is why my original plan would be like a Sunday and stream it for like, because I can basically Sunday I can do 6 to 8 hours quite easily on a Sunday. Not every Sunday, but on occasional Sundays. The other option is to basically do it all day on a Sunday and go for like 12 hours. With obviously the attempted goal to be try and do it one run in that weekend. Was kind of my line of thinking. Which would be plausible. So to give you an idea, I typically can probably beat a Pokemon game in about 20 odd hours doing it the normal way. So my thought process was Friday, try and aim for 5 hours on a Friday evening. Saturday evening, try and aim for 5 hours. And then Sunday, basically do it all day, and I should, in theory, be able to finish it within that week. That's the thing. It's the consistently. Yes and no. So it would be feasible, but I might have to take like a 15 to 30-minute break, depending on the weekend, to have my Sunday dinner. So I would start at like 9, go till 1, stop, have a break while I eat, and then come back, and then stream basically through until the evening, until like 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. That's feasible. And I know that's only 11 hours, but you know. Just thinking as well, how often am I doing other stuff on Sunday? Well, that's the thing. That's why I kind of like, I want to get it done in one weekend. Because this weekend I have plans, and typically it's every other Sunday I have plans. The only time it was different was last month, when it was the 9th and then the 30th. The 10th and then the 31st that I had stuff on. And there was basically a 2-week window between those events. But that was because there was 5 Sundays in that month. So August will be the next one that will be a bit different. But I also am like, I don't want to do a run every week. My thought process was potentially look at getting an editor and do one run every 2 weeks. That would mean then there's 2 videos uploaded a month, which would be just these trial challenge runs, which, you know, is about the cadence of you know, the Antler Boy stuff as well. Is 2 a month. And it would be doable. So that's what I've got to. This is what I've got to figure out. I'm basing it off the fact I can do it in a single go. I probably can't. Like, to be realistic, I probably can't. Because I'll be doing it for the first time, you know, and things like that. But yeah, so I've got to figure it out. And then yeah, that's the thing. But it's like, I don't want to like finish it off stream. You know, like I want to, because I don't want it to be like, right, once a week we'll set a whole week aside to do it. I could do that, but I'm also like, it's 3 hours a day. It's not long enough in a day for me to make like decent progress and be happy with it while also working. Which is why I was like, Friday I can go later, Saturday I can go later, Sunday I can basically do all day. It's not something that I'm like, I can afford to do it full time. Whereas, you know, obviously if I could sit and spend 8 hours a day on it, I could definitely do it with, you know, once a week. Like one playthrough a week, if I'm spending, you know, 12 hours a day on it, if it's my full-time job, I could do it quite easily. But because it's not, and the dog's starting to have a barking fit, yeah, because it's not my full-time job, I have to try and squeeze it in, and squeezing it in is where the problems occur. It's a case of, if I could, like, by some miracle, sit there and go from like midnight to 6 a.m. and do it, and then go to work, come home, sleep, repeat. Sure, I would do that. 6 hours sleep, up, but then, you know, by the end of my work day, I'm like, oh, I'm bloody knackered, I just want to sleep. I think it wouldn't work. So it's a case of figuring out how effectively I could do it. You gotta remember that's on top chat, not on live chat. Oh no, I think content-wise it will work, but I think for me making it, I think it's easier if I stream it. Because I feel like it's just one of those things where it's a case of, right, I'm learning how to do it, you know, and go through that. I think it's one of those ones that's combi, where it's like streaming it is good because it's different to the shiny hunting, and I can also get a video out of it. To give you an idea, I've already made it. We're gonna go over and have a look at the overlay. Bam. Again, it's all out of whack because of the freaking app. But basically, what was it? 31. That would be that. No, very much self-explanatory if you've seen any kind of Nuzlocke videos in the past. Basically was what I'm thinking. Now I gotta... Oh, I put it up there. Why did I put it up there? But yeah, so that's the thinking. It's something that I can, you know, do quite I think it's easy enough to do because it's just playing through the game, right? But it is a case of I need to do a bit of research on some of these type specific runs to figure out how people like do pick the teams that they go for and how they get their teams. So yeah, figuring it out. I don't know, so I got to figure out what kind of run I want to do and things like that. How do you implement a level cap on these games? You just stop leveling. That's the thing. So it's a case of like during battles, like if, for instance, if I was doing a gym leader fight and my Pokemon defeated a Pokemon and went over leveled, I think that's still okay to use. It's just a case of, let's say before that fight, it was higher than level cap, you couldn't use it. But if it leveled up during the battle, that's a different story. But I believe okay, yeah, so here's an example. So the video that I'm watching is the guy's got his Pokemon like right on the edge of level up. He's KO'd the first Pokemon. It's leveled him up to 14, but the cap is still 13. And he still does it. So that I think is fine. Well, that's the thing. I don't think I'm going to do it in the newer games. Not immediately. So again, I think the first run I'm thinking of is something in ORAS. I don't know what yet in ORAS. My brainstorming led me to a couple of ideas. I don't think I want to do a type specific. I think I want to do like only using baby Pokemon or something easy to kind of ease me into it. So I was thinking potentially doing something like non-evolved Pokemon or something like that. Where it's like, right, you know, I can only use non-evolved Pokemon. But again, the problem is, right, eventually I'll get to the point where I can only use... If I'm only doing certain types, that means basically the videos are going to be the same as everyone else's videos, doing the same run, only using certain types. Because the Pokemon pool is smaller, right, on those games. It's like, I could do... you know, a platinum run only using grass-type Pokemon. But someone else has probably done that, and they're probably going to have a 90% the same team as me. And then it's like, well, you know, how is it a case of it's not me stealing their video idea? But again, you know, you see what I mean? Like, it's a case of, yes, it's been done before. It's trying to come up with a way that it would be unique other than just me playing the game. Because, don't get me wrong, like, I have no idea about competitive Pokemon. So I'm coming at it from an angle of, I've never done competitive Pokemon. I think you see a lot of people who do these kind of runs, they're like min-maxing, you know? They're like, right, I need to KO 17 Diglets to get the the IVs, the EVs up to, you know, to increase his defense to the point where he can survive this attack. I can't do that. I'm not smart enough to do that. I don't have the knowledge to do that. But I also don't want to do randomizers. Because as much as I like randomizers, they're technically not supported by Nintendo. So, you know, to ever get on the eye of the Pokemon Company, Nintendo, Game Freak, whatever, probably best to avoid that kind of stuff going forward. Which is why you will only ever hear me playing the games on official hardware. Because, you know, I don't want to be like, yeah, no, I cheat all the time, you know. Don't want to do like that. Because that's just badness waiting to happen. So yeah, it's not something that I want to do. Again, only using fire types. I don't want to do only using fire types. I don't want to do a randomizer. Psychic, cool. Don't want to do it. Again, I would like to do a specific type run. And again, to a degree, I've got specific... Well, no, I've got shiny only runs, but... How about a team theme? You mean like only using dogs, or only using cats, or only using birds, or something like that? Or only using fish, or, you know, stuff like that. I mean, it could. I feel like it would be quite funny if, for instance, and I'm only saying this for ORAS because I think it would be quite funny, only using fish-esque Pokemon or aquatic. I don't know, would aquatic work? Crazy cat lady. Yeah, no, I was thinking fish specifically for ORAS because I remember for ORAS when it came out, IMDb said that there was too much water, and I feel like what funny callback would there be, but in a game where there was too much water, to use fish. But then again, I'm also thinking the best way to go about that. A mono, yeah, exactly. But the thing is, though, with like birds, it doesn't quite work. Well, I mean, okay. Could you count Torchic as a bird? Could you count Blaziken as a bird? If so, I could do a bird type run. Torchic, Swellow, Pelipper. I mean, Gyarados, you probably couldn't get away with calling it a bird. Crobat. Again, it's a bat, but it's kind of a bird. Skarmory, Flygon, Altaria, Tropius. Like, where do you Salamence? Like, where do you call it for birds? Do you count it as just anything that's flying? Do you count it as, you know, it's bird enough? There you go. Obviously, Swellow's a bird. Pelipper's a bird. I was thinking Gyarados, but Gyarados probably isn't a bird. Crobat, so you go Zubat. And again, there's enough type diversity there that I actually think it could be pretty fun. I actually think it could be pretty fun. That's the problem. Okay. So, but then the problem becomes, am I doing it just as a playthrough that's not a Nuzlocke? Because I'm doing a specific run? Because again, to a degree, the plan with these two hunts being Rowlet and Tepig was because I was planning on doing a shiny only run, but specific colored shinies. So Ultra Moon playthrough was going to be only using green shinies. Black 2 was going to be only using blue shinies. So it was a case of figuring out where we would kind of sit in that regard. Like the idea of, though, the bird. I mean, obviously it can be anyone, but then it wouldn't become a hardcore Nuzlocke because it would be only using that, right? Only do. Okay, let me watch. Danger Pokemon only catch the first encounter of the right type in an area. Okay. So that is the correct way of doing it, right? So let's say I did it as flying type, hardcore Nuzlocke, but then I can only encounter the first flying type. Hold on. Flying. Just because I'm curious. I want to see what this team ends up being. There you go. So this ends up... Wingull. See, but he's got, again, flying type gives you Gyarados. That's the thing. I don't want to do just... I don't know. Again, the thing is, I'm like, I want to do the hardcore one, right? But I also don't... I also don't want to do it as like a single type, because I think that kind of just takes the fun out of it. I think you're right on the money with themed types. I think you're right on the money with themed types. I think doing it as like chicken or, you know, birds could be quite funny. Again, I would say Torchic, you know, Tallow, Wingull, definitely. Gyarados, I wouldn't say. Zubat, Crobat, you know, that line. I would say Skarmory. I would argue Otaria, Swablu. I wouldn't argue for Flygon because I don't think that would count in my opinion. I would also argue for Tropius. Obviously, you've got Natu and Xatu. But that would kind of be where I would be at. Is Firo in Iraz? Not according to the Pokedex. I literally just put in Oraz Pokedex. It's got Halo and Swalo. Doesn't have good old Firo. But then I was thinking, would lizards or geckos or something like that, reptiles, be another one that you could do? And I'm trying to think, get Trico, it's a gecko, right? But then what else would you count after that? Oh, Nincada. So Ninjask, shed ninja. I would count that as a reptile, right? they're bugs. Would you say then just bug type Pokemon in general? Because I mean that opens it up a little bit. You would count Aron. You would count Aron? That's interesting. But then you would have to count Skit as well, because that's a bug. I mean, Beautifly, Dustox. Like Reptile I think is hard. Kecleon would be one, because Kecleon is a based on a reptile. I mean, you could argue Seviper. Snakes are reptiles. Trapinch. So Flygon. As reptile-esque. I think there could be some fun in there, but I also think it's worth brainstorming different teams. I think first things first, I want to try and do as many runs in a single game as possible. Because that, I think, then gets me a good base. Because then I'm like, right, I know the game. I know the kind of stuff that's worth doing in the game and things like that. Personally, I want to start with ORAS. Because that does unlock the potential of Mega Evos. I don't know if I would particularly utilize it, though. It might be that we create a rule where I can't use them, which I think would be absolutely fine. And we'll kind of figure that kind of stuff out as we go. But I definitely think birds, 100%. Dogs could be interesting, because I would count Mudkip as a dog. If we were doing that. Mudkip gives very much dog energy. But then what would it be? Mudkip, Mightyena. Delcatty would work for cats. Unless we said pets. But then, you know, I could do Delcatty. I could do Mightyena. I could do Seviper because you keep snakes. I could do a you know, a Duskdox or a Beautifly because you keep butterflies. I think Parrot, like that would work in Gen 4 because you could get Chatot because you keep parrots. Oh, in the pets? Yeah, that's what I mean. In the pets, you kind of have free reign. That's what I mean. So it's like if there was a specific run where it was like reptiles and birds, and I did Trico and Torchic, well then for that pets one, I would do Mudkip. Again, there's always the argument to be made of not using the starters for the runs, but just using them to get a Pokemon very early on and then using that. So I definitely think there's potential. I'm just trying to think if it would be feasible for me to... Anything is feasible. I don't think if it'd be feasible for me to like work on it this week. I mean, if we get a run that it's like, yeah, I'm extremely happy with that. Let's give that a go. Then I think it's worth doing. The Torchic is counted as a chick. Young fowl, combusting, and then Blaziken is different. So it might be we keep it until combusting and then don't evolve it into Blaziken, because it counts as young fowl. Young fowl, I'm pretty sure, is young birds. So Blaziken, though, counts as the Blaze, is the Blaze Pokemon. And I think that's where you would have to differ it. And give you an opportunity to look into Pokemon lore to justify why something is a pet. Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. But I mean, like, Doduo, Dodrio would be 100% a team that could be used for the birds, which would probably be insanely powerful because of the fact it gets Tri-Attack, which just is just amazing for coverage on typing. Shiftry, let's read this. Shiftry. Oh, it's called the Wicked Pokemon. The Willy Poke. Nuzleaf is the Willy Pokemon. Seedot is the Acorn Pokemon. I think that would work well for if we were doing one based on plants. Again, Trico, Lotad, Seedot, Shroomish, Oddish, Roseliade, Cacnea, Credilli, Tropius, like, okay, yeah, it is kind of a monotype, but it's also not. It is a lot of grass, but like Vileplume, poison, Shroomish, fighting, Ludicolo, water, Shiftry, dark. Like, I think there's good coverage there. I think it's fine if they become a monotype run. I think it's better if it's packaged as a theme. So instead of calling it only using grass types, only using plant Pokemon, or only, you know, just packaging it differently. Because again, everyone does it as using grass type Pokemon. But if you're doing it specifically to be like, yeah, it's a house plant. Yeah, it's a flying type. It's a flying Pokemon. You know, it's a bird Pokemon. Again, I think my thinking was with plants, Lotad is water, grass. So that instantly isn't just a monotype run. Yeah, Shroomish is grass, but Balloon is grass fighting. Oddish is grass poison. So there you go. So again, Shiftry. I mean, just looking at it, right? We go Blaziken up to Combustin. Or do we go just Blaziken all the way? Because that's the thing. It's like, yeah, okay. Maybe we go Blaziken all the way. I like Dodrio. Shiftry. Obviously, Crobat. Tropius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then we're 1 short. I mean, Altaria works. Or Skarmory. Now, in that instance, I think... Goodness. What is the team looking like? We've got fire. We got flying. We got grass. We got another grass. We got poison. Maybe we get rid of Tropius. If we're taking Shiftry, we get rid of Tropius. And we do Skarmory Altaria. Okay, maybe then we don't do it. I'm trying to think. I think what else... Oh! Greg, you're like this then. You're like this then. How about Psyduck? How about Psyduck? Psyduck is technically a jug. A duck. Ducks are technically birds. So Psyduck would technically classify as a bird. Okay, hold up. Hold up. What am I getting rid of for Psyduck? I like Crobat. Let me get rid of Skarmory and Altaria for now. Have I seen Jimmy Cool's video on Mag Cargo? No, I have not. I have not. I've been very lacking in watching stuff. Unfortunately. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. And Macargo counts as a horse, does it? High horsepower. It's super smart. Super smart. I'm just trying to see if there's any other one that immediately pop out based off of look alone. Outside of the norm. No. So if I discount the norm, right, we've got 3 team members being Blaziken, Psyduck, and Shiftry. However, if I count some of the other ones, I would also count Crobat. I would also like to count No, I don't want too many of the same types. I would like to count Dodrio. Okay. I was just thinking Kecleon, because Kecleon can technically learn any move. You could argue it could, in theory, learn Brave Bird, thus making it a bird. Unless you want to be, like, proper and not kind of hee-hee-ha-ha. In which case, you probably can't because of the move sets it learns. It doesn't learn any flying type moves, so it probably doesn't count. Why are the moves? No. Ditto? No, because you can sketch it, right? That's what I was thinking. Rather than Ditto transforming, or Zoroa, if you were to do it in a different game, because you put it first in your party, but it transforms to whatever's last in your party, so technically, when it comes into battle, it's a flying Pokemon. And then you do that because of illusion. Okay, what we need to do is we need to start getting this down in the Discord channel, because otherwise I'll forget it. Yeah, go on, Greg. Give me your idea. Anything that floats. The problem with that is I don't have any English Gen 1 games outside of the Japanese copies that I have, and obviously the Game Boy Advanced games, which could in theory work, but I don't know about that. Oh, sorry, excuse me. I know in theory it would be possible to do it on that, but I don't own any physical games outside of that, unfortunately, and I don't want to go and spend a buttload of money to do it immediately. Obviously, if this kind of thing works, cool. The only reason I'm thinking of starting in ORAS is because I want to play a bit of ORAS, and I wanted an excuse to play a little bit of ORAS. And if we can do something that's a little bit ha-ha-hee-ha, I'm all for it. So, in terms of current team then, I think Blaziken, very obvious. Psyduck, not as obvious, because technically it's not what you would classify as a bird Pokemon, but technically it's a duck. So the argument is there that it's a duck, it's allowed. Shiftry, because it's based off of a Japanese demon that is a bird, it's good. Crobat, because it learns Brave Bird, technically is fine. So that's 4. My next thought was Cast Form. However, it doesn't really learn anything that's too insane in that regard. Gas, no, it doesn't count. I'm thinking Flygon, but Flygon, other than having a fly in the name, doesn't really work. Well, Tropius technically flies. It's the fruit Pokemon. Yeah, so In Sapphire, it says, this Pokemon flies by flapping the leaves on its back as if they are wings. Tropius also technically doesn't... I mean, it can learn fly, but it's a flying type. So that kind of, you know, that kind of works. You can say Heracross, because Heracross can technically fly because it has wings. The bugs it's based on typically can fly, not for very long, but technically they are flying bugs. I mean, I don't know if you could argue Frostlass. Pinsir learns Peck. Ooh. Yeah, but Pinsir doesn't look like Pinsir doesn't look like he can fly though. Oh no, he does though, doesn't he? Yeah, he has wings. Hey Boom, welcome in. How are you doing? D20. Hopefully it doesn't take me that long. Hope your week is off to a good start. Hope your weekend was good. The Stag Beetle, that was it. It doesn't. It doesn't learn Peck normally in its move set in Gen 3. Birds don't need to fly. Ostriches can't fly. Well, that's why. That is also true. That is why I was going with Dodrio. I feel like we also need at least one or two that you could argue are birds. Which would be where I would say Dodrio comes in. Dodrio, Doduo. Yeah, mine was good, Boom. Mine was good. I just don't want to end up with too many, like, flying types. So, Blaziken, Golduck, Shiftry, Crobat, Dodrio, Tropius. But then we've got 3 flying types. Ooh, hold up. What is Armado? I'm pretty sure Armado learns... No, he doesn't. I thought he learned Peck. I am wrong. Oh, Armado might not, but Anorith doesn't either. What am I thinking of that learns Peck? Yeah, no, that's true. I don't need to worry about synergy so much, but I'm just thinking having that many that are that on the nose might be a bit, you know, that are that well-fitting, you know? I feel like I don't mind 4 and 2. If it was based off of a bug, I might have considered, but it's considered the plate. And it's more. No, it's more fishy. It's more fishy. No, they're gonna have the same move set. Oh, wait. Oh, no, it works better for cat. I was gonna say Zangoose. Because you could argue it's got goose in the name, and goose is a bird. But its description is cat feral Pokemon. Cat ferret Pokemon. That's what I'm thinking. Bird type Pokemon. Zangoose. Oh yeah, it fits. It's a goose. But then I'd feel like I would want to get rid of... no. As I say, then I feel like I want to get rid of Dodrio, but then I'm in the same situation of getting rid of it because it's a normal type. Just capital... No, just call it Goose. Or no, yeah. Or leave it Zangoose, but just... I feel like nicknaming them all would be funny. And just calling it Goose would be funnier. Just call Blaziken Chicken, Psyduck Duck, Shiftry, I mean, I don't know. We'd have to figure out one out for that one. I feel like obviously Zangoose Goose. Well, that's the thing. But that's the good thing is that we've got all the other ones, right? So Wingo, Swellow. We've then got the standard one. Wingo, Swellow, Altaria. Xatu, like then we can just have those as the replacement, right? Xatu, Altaria, Skarmory, Pelipper, Swellow. Oh, that's another 5 mons that are then just replacement, right? So we can have the haha funny ones, but then we also have the serious ones that replace it. What I'm going to do is after the stream, or I don't know if you want to do it, Greg. Is just start getting it in the video suggestions channel, just so then I've got some of it down before I forget. And then I'll just try and plot out a time to start it. Because then I have an idea already for the thumbnail and the title. I think I'm going to put Zangoose in the title. Okay. No, yeah, okay, we can do that then. But again, I like the idea of maybe needing to do Zangoose. See, my hope, I don't want to get to that point, but my hope is if we do the run and I need the goose, if I need to pull out Zangoose, I'm literally just going to put it in the thumbnail of the main video. and just not say anything and just see if anyone picks it up, or if they just if the comments just go, oh, you can't, why is Zangoose in here? It's not a bird. Farm rage bait. Farm the hate comment. No, farm the engagement comments. People to be like, why is Zangoose there? Okay, so the main team then. I think we keep Golduck on the main team. We keep the Dodrio on the main team. Tropius. Unless we do Pelipper. Pelipper first. Swellow. Pelipper, Swellow. Crobat. Blaziken. Tropius type thing. Actually, let me just do this. Let me do this because then I can edit it as we go. So, video suggestions. Bird. I was going to say bird type. Bird Pokemon. Oraz. Hard. Or. Nuzlocke. Then I'm going to put team. And then back up. Back up. Back up, Mons. Not mums, Mons. God, I love autocorrect. If you're doing Nuzlocke style, wouldn't you just need to catch them and use them in the order you find them? That's what I'm wondering. Right? Because it would have to be done on the route. So that's why I'm thinking it probably won't work in that specific order. Oraz. Not viewable in my region. What do you mean not viewable in my region? It's a bloody map. That's stupid. Why is Reddit? Do you want to know why? Probably because it's hosted on a different... It's probably hosted on a different freaking thing. And, of course, I can't zoom into it because it's all over the place. Great. Great, great, great. Here we go. So. Nope, that's not that's the world map. I don't need the world map. I know the world map. I want encounters map. Why is it that Reddit is so freaking broken if you're in the UK at the minute? There we go. That's better. Okay. Got it. So we can get Wingle, Route 104. So that's... Wait. Am I correct in thinking? Where do we start in these games? I'm all over the place. Hold up. I believe you start... Is it Littlefoot? Little Route? Yes. You start there. So you would have to just go there. you can pick C dot up Route 102. So I can get C dot. Route 103, you can pick up Wingle. Obviously, you can pick Wingle up slightly later because you go towards Petalburg, right? So we would be... Okay, then, no, that's pretty well team balanced, right? Thinking about it. Torchic, C dot, and C dot, and then Wingle. Then the next one would probably be Halo. Or, depending on Route 115, you can get Swablu. But that's only in hordes. Zangoose you can get on 114. But that, I think, is version exclusive, right? If I'm remembering correctly, so I'd have to pick the correct one for Zangoose. I'm literally just going around them. Obviously, in that Golbat as well. So, let's go through it. So Blaziken, Shiftry, Pelipper, Halo. Oh. Okay, so I have to do Ruby anyway. Okay, so yeah, so I have to do Ruby anyway. And then the last one, Crobat. Then I believe I can get Skarmory. Trying to think, because I believe you go that way around. Or do you then go this way? Hold up, you can get Garchomp? No, that's not right. Why does it say Gibble? That must be a trade. I think it is, isn't it? Is that what that means? Catchable using DexNav, okay. So Tropius is then after that. So then Tropius would be a backup. Psyduck is in the Safari Zone, but obviously I think you can get Golduck before then. Because it also says Aerodactyl, and Aerodactyl could be a fun one to do, but that, I believe, is Gift. Okay. I mean, it's doable. I think it's definitely doable. I'm just trying to think of, like, if we say if we say I can use the Pokemon before they become the animal, right? Like, C-Dot doesn't count as a bird. So I'm like, you can't... Can I use C-Dot? Stream's dead? Stream shouldn't be dead. Don't scare me like that. Yeah, because I can't use C-Dot immediately. Because C-Dot technically isn't a bird. I feel like that's not okay to use. Whereas Golduck is a duck. You know, Psyduck is a duck. So to me, that counts as a bird right away versus, you know, doing that. Whereas I feel like if I waited until later and got a Nuzleaf that I then just straight evolved, that's different. It's like I caught a spare Nuzleaf and then I evolved it. Because I do believe it is a Leaf Stone, yes. Whereas I feel like that's different to just catching Seedot and using just Seedot. So it would then be Torchic through until Wingull. Wingull into Talo. Both of them then into potentially Aerodactyl if I can get Aerodactyl. And then basically just keep going with those and then Zubat. Oh, because in Laveridge Town you can get Togepi. Now Togekiss would technically count as a bird. Togepi would count as a bird. Lava Ridge Town. Egg becomes bird. So that would technically work, right? So I've got to re-remember what way the game goes. But in theory, then, the team plan would be Torchic, Wingull, Talo, Zubat. I'm only going to put in the first evolutions because it makes it easier for me to kind of plan it out. Then it would be Togepi, Skarmory, A, not C. I love autocorrect. So Torchic, Wingull, Talo, Zubat, Togepi, Skarmory. That then basically takes us halfway around the map, right? So then it would be Tropius, Shift Tree. Just putting it on there. Psyduck. Duo. I mean, to be fair, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. 3, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. And then that's without like Psyduck. That's without Pinsir, Heracross. What other bats is there? What other birds is there? I mean, to be fair, I think that's not horrible. I do honestly think that is a pretty good selection. Is there anything immediately that I'm missing? Oh, Altaria, Swablu. Swablu. And that just, I mean, I'm just getting all the Pokemon down that I can use for the run, right? And then at least I can then plan out what the order for getting them is going to be. I mean, we can still roll on the level cap. And we can still roll on pretty much everything else that I've got in the overlay. So I think that's going to work. People are going to look at it and go, yep. Why is Shiftry on there? Oh, Zangoose. Zangoose. Can't forget that one. I think stuff like that, me personally, it would be better to catch it, not point out in the video that I caught it. I haven't put Xatu. Let me put Xatu. Would be to catch it, not point it out in the video, point it out to the stream, but then use it in the video if needs be later down the line. Be like, oh yeah, doing stuff earlier, we caught a little secret. And then be like, bam, here it is. And then just have it be like, yeah, we caught Zangoose. Okay. So I'm putting this... Ooh, what is this? What is this? Who's messaging me? Who is... I'm busy at the moment. I think that's it then, right? There's nothing else... Other than Zangoose, nothing else kind of doesn't belong there. Everything kind of does to a degree. And it's more so, Zangoose is a last ditch, just in case resort. Same with Shiftry. They are a last ditch, just in case resort. It's going to freak someone out if they look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think that's fine. I think 13 would be a safe bet. That basically gives me 2 free teams. Although, just looking, it says here, Soaring in the Sky, Braviary. So that could be a potential another Mon. Look to see what else potentially shows up as well. Nothing we haven't already kind of got on the list. I mean, Driftloon, Murkrow. How do you get the Dex Nav? Is that not an end game thing? Yeah, Zoroa. Literally on Route 101. Yeah, Pidove, Chatot. Problem is, I can only get one. So because the point is it's Nuzlocke, right? So Route 101 encounter would be Zoroa. 102 could be... you know, nothing. C-Dot. But again, I wouldn't want it to be C-Dot. 104 could then be Chatot or Pidove. Or, you know, Wingull, Tallow. The Petalburg can be Talo. 104 North, because it's technically a different route to 104 South. Is a different encounter, which means I can get Wingull or Talo there. If not 116, I could potentially get Pidove again, if I don't get it earlier, or 115. There's also then, there's also potentially Dino Hydreigon. Would be a bit over the top. But is another potential one. Chatot appears at a later route as well. A couple of later routes. Could definitely work, and if you get it around the first gym, that would be really good. There's then also Pidgeotto, which you can get in the Safari Zone. So the opportunities open up like quite extreme if the Dex Nav is something you can get early on, and I know how to use it. Because then I could also get Delibird in the Shoal Cave. I mean, doing a run with like solely other types could be quite fun as well. Like dark types could be quite feasible. I know we said maybe not, but Zoroa, Gothita, or Psychic even. It's not dark, is it? No, never mind. Ignore me. Ignore me. But no, I'd have to look it up. But the options are kind of endless, and I think it could be really fun to do in ORAS, because it is something else. It could be quite fun. No, I'm not worried about... Oh... After you've done the story with Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, that's when you get some stuff, which is the National Dex. So you can get the Dex Nav early, but to get the Pokemon like Zoroa, like Chatot, like Pidove, you have to finish the main story. You have to get the National Dex. So no, that wouldn't work. It's a cool idea, it just wouldn't work. which is a real shame. I mean, it might work for the end game, but it wouldn't work. It wouldn't be something to be like, yeah, I'll just go and grab, you know, I'll just go and grab Zorua at the very beginning of the game. It's a case of I'd have to wait until the end of the game. Which, I mean, isn't the worst, but again, it's also not the best. It's not bad if I need a team, essentially. If I need new mons for the team before doing like the Elite Four or whatever, then at that point I could then look at grabbing it. We'll do 4 more. We'll get to 2,000 today, since we're pretty much here now anyway. And then I am going to go and crash. Yeah, it's a shame, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. Again, I do believe the flying does still give us bravery once we get soaring in the sky. So that is still another mon that wasn't an option, but could potentially be an option once we unlock that ability. And Murkrow, yeah, exactly. So that does open up a couple more possibilities. So I think that will be the plan. I mean, I'm going to give it a go editing it and doing it all myself. If it's something I think I can manage, then that's fine. But I think the goal will be eventually to hand it over to someone who could edit it down, and then I can just do the script over the top. Or, you know, I do the script, they do all the editing, and then it just makes it easier for me. But I think I want to give the first one a go myself. If it's something I think I can manage, then I'm all down for it. And it could be quite fun. But I think this first one, I want to do it all. I just need to do some thinking, because I'm probably going to try and do it Sunday. Well, that's the thing, Greg, right? Is it's going to cost. It's whether or not it's worth my time to get someone to do it. Right? Like, realistically, yes, it's going to cost probably let's say just £100 a video, right? Minimum. Probably going to cost more like £200 a video. For me to recoup that money back, the video would need to get 100,000 views. You know, 200,000 views, whatever. Realistically, the video is probably not going to get more than 100. So, like, in the beginning, it's not very wise to throw that into each video. However, you know, if I do the first few myself and there's traction there, then I can say, right, this is working, give it to an editor, basically copy what I've done previously, and, you know, they're getting 50,000 views, you know. The memberships have gone up, you know, costs can cover and things like that. But I think it would be silly to just dump it on them immediately, not knowing what I'm after. I think it makes much more sense to to do it myself to begin with and just kind of see where we land with it. Potentially just do it all myself, depending on how well we do going forward. But no, that is it. That is me done for today. I will be back on Wednesday with Palkia. I'm gonna try and move some stuff around, and Saturday, Sunday, I might just say, you know what, screw it, we're gonna give this a go, and we're gonna do the first couple of streams and see how we get on. But no promises. I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try. I kind of got a plan of action. I'm kind of happy with how that plan of action's going. So we'll see. We'll see how long it goes. I mean, I put it in the video suggestion channel, Greg. If there's anything else you think adding wise, put them in there. I think Braviary and Merc are the only two. But no, I mean, any other ideas? If you're like, oh man, I would like to see a dog, a reptile one, you're more than welcome to spend some time if you want going through it. I think for right now, I want to keep it focused on ORAS, just because I think there's a good amount of mons to choose from in that game, and kind of go from there. But like, after that, I don't know what we'll then just think about. After the first 2-3, we'll then maybe look at a different game and like, right, maybe it's worth looking at Platinum, maybe it's worth looking at Sword and Shield, maybe it's worth looking at Scarlet and Violet, and then go and do it more like that. But I think these first few, I want to keep them on the same game to kind of get a base understanding of how the editing works, the voiceover, the script writing, and all of that. I'm probably going to actually spend tomorrow working on an intro for it, and maybe even get that up in the members channel. Because why not? Strike while the iron is hot. Do tomorrow, so I'm probably going to do that, but we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'm actually quite excited about it, so I'm gonna strike while the iron's hot and get some stuff going. So hope you all have an amazing continuation to your week, and I will see you all Wednesday for Palkia. Have a good one, everyone. I will see you later. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.